Leave an inheritance. Biblical wisdom for investing. There are verse in Proverbs that's always stuck with me since the first time I heard it. And when I first heard it, I was like, there's no way that's in there. But it's Proverbs 13:22. It says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. You're not just leaving your kids something, a few bucks, maybe the house, and all your junk that you left behind, whether it's valuable or not. The gospel says, a good man provides for his children's children. Your great grandkids, your grandkids. A good man provides for them. We think if we leave enough to pay for the funeral, we've done good for our family. But Scripture says we should bless our family with an inheritance. Think about that. What's that mean to you? What does an inheritance mean to you? How much do you have to provide to bless your kids and your kids' kids? Dig into that. Maybe one day on my other channel, we'll dig into it. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Proverbs 13:22. That's powerful. It doesn't just say, take care of your kids. It says, think about your grandkids. Think 2 generations ahead. Think beyond yourself. And honestly, that's what investing is really about. It's not about chasing the hottest stock of the week. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about building something that lasts, something that outlives you, something your children's children can look at and say, because they were faithful, I have a foundation. Granddad provided for me. Now for me, the way I do this is simple. I've got my base 35. I prune $100 when the opportunity comes. I invest in the bottom. I let the dividends keep building and compounding. Every decision has already been made. That's my system. But here's the thing. Those dollars I move around aren't just for me. They're seeds. Every time I reinvest, I'm planning for a harvest I may never personally enjoy. Because one day, long after I'm gone, that system, that account, those dividends, those shares, they can still bless my family. And that's where I want you to catch this. Investing isn't just math. It's a legacy. It's obedience to a biblical principle. It's stewardship. You may feel like you don't have much to leave behind, but imagine if you started with just $15 a month like we talk about. Imagine you just kept pruning and reinvesting and letting it grow. Fast forward yourself 20, 30, 40 years into the future. Investing is not just about the money. That's an inheritance. That's provision. That's security for the family when you're not there to provide anymore. And let's be real. Life can change in a moment. None of us know how many days we have left. That's why this verse challenges me so deeply. Am I just building for me? Or am I building for my children's children? So here's my encouragement for you today. Think bigger. Don't just think about your bills this month or your goals for retirement. Think about what you're leaving behind for your children's children. Think about what your story the grandkids will be telling about you because of your faithfulness. They can present the gospel to their friends and family every time they walk into that house, every time they ride in that fancy new vehicle, whatever that may be for your grandkids. Every time someone asks them, man, how did you get this? Because my grandfather, I'm not a grandfather, I'm not a father, but your grandkids can say, because my grandfather understood a biblical principle that he was supposed to provide for me. And 50, 100, 20, 30, whatever it is, 40, 60, 200, whatever it is, years from now, you have people going because you were diligent and you made a few sacrifices and didn't eat at McDonald's once a month to put $15 away a month at a minimum. They're able to tell their friends, you were faithful to them and your God because you did what Jesus told us to do. And save and bless our kids. Is that you? Is that what you're doing? It doesn't take a massive salary. It doesn't take Wall Street tricks. It takes discipline. It takes consistency, and it takes a system. Build your own system. Find someone's systems that's working. Why do I do these videos? It worked for me, so I figured it'll work for you. And I know it will. 20 plus at the moment % on my money is great. And when you invest that way, you're not just following a financial plan. You're walking in biblical wisdom. You're leaving an inheritance, not just money, but a legacy of stewardship and faith. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just someone on a journey with you, showing you what's working in my portfolio. Live to bless your kids. It'll change the way you think. It'll change the way you do things. It'll change maybe the way you buy. It'll change maybe the way you live your life. Because if you base every decision off of biblical principles and how that's going to affect my grandkids, how's that going to affect 2 generations away from me? Maybe the new latest phone isn't such a big deal. Maybe the newest model of that isn't such a big deal. Maybe all the fancy toys aren't such a big deal. Maybe. What I have is enough and I don't need more. Maybe I rethink everything and stop living for myself. Or stop trying to bless my kids with all the extras. And lay a foundation in them and go, let's live for our grandkids. You're talking to your kids about living for their grandkids. Change society. Change your family structure. Follow godly principles and you will be blessed. See you next time.